Avocados. You gotta have avocados in your house, because if there's avocados in your house, there'll be an avocado in your mouth. You should have an avocado every day. Studies have shown that people who eat an avocado every day lose weight compared to people who don't eat avocados. Studies have shown that avocados in a salad or mixed in with vegetables make you absorb more of the vitamins and nutrients and polyphenols in those food than if you didn't have the avocado. It's loaded with monounsaturated healthy fats, like oleic acid, which is the major fat in olive oil, loaded with antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin K, and the B vitamins. There's more potassium in an avocado than a banana. So if your doctor told you to get potassium from bananas, ditch the bananas and eat the avocado instead. Should you use avocado oil and ditch the avocados? Well, while avocado oil is a good high smoke cooking oil, it doesn't have near the polyphenol content of olive oil. So eat your avocado, because it'll also get you all that wonderful fiber that your gut bacteria need. Guacamole. Have some guacamole in the refrigerator. There are a number of companies that now make guacamole without tomatoes, which is not supposed to be in guacamole. Or use those avocados when they're starting to get really ripe and make your own guacamole. And use Belgian endive as your dipping chip for guacamole, and you'll get a win-win. My favorite ways to eat avocados. All right, many of you know I love avocados. I have them almost every day. Interestingly enough, there's actually more potassium in an avocado than there is in a banana, for all you potassium freaks out there. Now, there's multiple benefits from avocados. Studies show that when avocados are consumed with a meal, it dramatically increases the absorption of vitamins and minerals. And particularly that goes for a salad. You actually don't absorb the vitamins and minerals in salads very well, but studies show in humans that adding an avocado into the salad dramatically increases the nutrient absorption of those vitamins and minerals. Who knew? Just like olive oil, avocados are mainly monounsaturated fats, oleic acid. It's the good kind of fat in avocados that actually might help a great deal when it comes to your heart health. Another great perk of eating avocados is their lutein and zeaxanthin content, which many of you know really helps with eyesight. And more we're learning that it helps with heart health as well. And shockingly, despite that avocados are mostly fat, they actually support weight loss. Studies have shown that adding an avocado a day to human volunteers improve weight loss as opposed to not having that avocado. Just remember, eating fat does not make you fat. So that's why I recommend eating one whole avocado a day. All right, so how are you going to eat that one avocado a day? Let's talk about some of my favorite ways of eating them. Well, first of all, eat it plain. I like sprinkling a little salt and pepper on an avocado and eating it plain. Drizzle it with olive oil. You get the fat and the feeling of being full, and you get the benefit of the fiber in the avocado and the polyphenols that are in the avocado and the olive oil. In fact, recently in Paris, I had a sliced avocado as my breakfast every day, and the waiters thought nothing of it. They didn't go, huh? And there it appeared, ready to go. If you need more flavor, try adding some of my miso sesame dressing. You can find the recipe in the Energy Paradox or on my website, and it's delicious on an avocado. So cut the avocado in half, take the pit out, put egg yolks inside the pit, and pop it into the toaster oven to broil, and then drizzle it with olive oil and put some salt and pepper on it. Take your spoon, and that's one of the best breakfasts you're ever going to have. You'll get all the lutein and the choline from the egg yolk. You'll get all the vitamin E from the egg yolk. And you'll double your benefits because the avocado will help you absorb all those nutrients. Now, anytime you use an avocado with any other food, you can absorb those vitamins. So whatever you're going to eat, put an avocado with it. On your plate, think of an avocado as your vegetable side dish. I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to get a phenomenal mouthfeel from having that avocado. Now, it's obvious one of the best ways to use an avocado is to make guacamole. But most of the guacamole recipes have tomatoes and peppers, which are not exactly healthy. In fact, true guacamole is never made with tomatoes, and quite frankly, true guacamole is always made with peeled and de-seeded peppers. So it's easy to do, and thankfully, there's a number of store-bought guacamole that you can get at Costco, that you can get at Trader Joe's, that doesn't have the tomatoes added the way it's supposed to be. You can use a dipping chip for guacamole. There's now some new plantain dipping chips that are great. I personally prefer Belgian endive leaves as my dipping chip. So that's an easy way to get guacamole into your mouth. And don't forget, guacamole in itself is great on whatever meat dish that you're going to serve, whether it's chicken, whether it's fish, whether it's grass-fed beef. Put some guacamole on it. You'll absorb more nutrients anytime you use it. Here's another way. These are my olive oil pearls that look like caviar, have the mouthfeel of caviar, and put them in the hole in an avocado. Scoop the avocado and the olive oil pearls. It is a mouth-watering treat that once again gets triple the benefits of just olive oil into your mouth. Well, I've been getting a lot of questions on social media about my favorite fruit, avocados. If you had any of my books, you know avocados are one of my favorite go-tos for health. So, does it really cause weight gain, as you might have heard? And can you eat too much? Well, let's dive right in with our myth-busting session. So, avocados are full of fat, and everybody knows that eating fat makes you gain weight. Now, where in the heck did this crazy eat fat, get fat theory come from? Well, it came about in the primarily 70s. And that was actually caused by some reports in the 1950s that fat, particularly saturated fat, was the cause of heart disease. And this was the famous 7-country study where there was an association with the amount of fat in a diet with coronary artery disease. And as you've seen in a lot of my books, this association does not prove causation. And in fact, the 7 countries that were selected were cherry-picked. And I won't go into that, but fat got evil. And in the 1970s, the McGovern Commission, Senator McGovern, the former presidential candidate, hosted a commission to have U.S. dietary guidelines. And they were very impressed with the 7-country study. And so U.S. dietary guidelines said we should avoid fat, period. Fat has 9 calories per gram versus 4 calories per gram of sugars or proteins. So in terms of weight, fat basically has twice the amount of calories as weight of protein or carbohydrates. So on the surface, that might look like something that's important. On the other hand, we now know after the failed experiment of low-fat diets that in fact calories are not calories. What do I mean by that? Both carbohydrates and proteins cause an elevation in your insulin production. And if you've listened, you know that insulin is the fat storage hormone. Fat, on the other hand, does not raise insulin. So that just eating fat doesn't activate fat storage, whereas eating carbohydrates or protein can potentially activate fat storage. The second thing to remember is that when all these dietary guidelines were developed, no one knew about the microbiome. No one knew what foods the microbiome might want to eat and how much of the food and calories that you were eating and ingesting might potentially be eaten by your microbiome instead of passing on to you. So, avocados have a great fat, which is a monounsaturated fat, oleic acid, which just so happens to be the predominant fat in my favorite fat, olive oil. So you get a benefit of oleic acid, but avocados are rich in fiber. Fiber is what feeds the good gut bacteria. That's what they want to eat, and they take those calories from themselves. Lastly, there's really good clinical trials that show eating an avocado a day compared to not eating an avocado a day makes you lose weight. Plus, adding avocados to anything you eat, particularly salads and vegetables, show that you will increase the absorption of polyphenols and other vital nutrients, and if the avocado was not there. So avocados give you a tremendous health boost anytime you eat them. There's almost no sugar in an avocado, even the fact that it is a fruit. It's actually a single-seeded berry. And avocados are pretty easy to find. Now, a lot of people say, how can you recommend avocados? They're really expensive. But if you think about what most of us spend on a cup of coffee every day, or a coffee drink, or an energy bar, the energy and benefits that you would get by spending that on an avocado is vastly superior to what you're currently spending things on. Plus, buy avocados in bulk. Get them really green. I was at Costco yesterday and I actually bought myself another bag of avocados. Some of the discount stores sell avocados. Buy them in bulk. Keep them in the refrigerator until you want to ripen them, and you can keep them for an extended period of time. I actually have 3 green avocados in my refrigerator that I put there before I left for Europe a few weeks ago, and they're still in perfect condition and ready for me to eat. So don't be afraid of buying avocados in bulk, where you can actually save some money. Now, can you eat too many avocados? Well, quite frankly, you can eat too many of anything, and we're going to talk about that in one of my other lectures. But it's very difficult to gain weight eating avocados. For one thing, they actually are very filling. So try to get yourself an avocado a day. If that's impossible, go for a couple, 3 a week. Try to put them whenever you're going to have salads, vegetables, try to put them in there. I like to sneak them into foods. You remember in the plant paradox, my green smoothie uses a half of an avocado. It's great for increasing the thickness of any smoothie you want. Believe it or not, in the Plant Paradox Family Cookbook, we have a popsicle recipe using avocados. In our cookbooks, we have an avocado ice cream that is absolutely fantastic. The other thing you can do is make hummus with pressure-cooked chickpeas and blend in avocado to give it an even better creamy taste. So there's so many ways to get avocado into your diet. More amazing episodes just like this one. Watch now. What if I told you that some of the most popular high-fiber foods on the market, even ones that you're buying at health food stores, are a complete waste of time, or worse, actually harming your gut and making you sick?